Shalom, this is Amonute Tayac of Piscataway, your friendly neighborhood Shuman, Sophia Spiritualite, the AmaruKhan Miriyam, and we are here with a video on a very interesting protection symbol, which is pictured on your screen. It's called the Mano Figo. We're going to look a little bit into this this symbol and what it means, okay? So the fig sign seen here, I actually believe this is done with your left hand, is a mildly obscene gesture that uses a thumb wedged between two fingers. This gesture is most commonly used to ward off the evil eye. And by when they say evil eye in this case, I believe that means the spiritual spouses specifically, okay? Insults, because they perform a sexual act with you in your sleep state to quote unquote get this marriage in its place, so you would use this symbol to prevent that from happening, if you understand what I mean, okay? The gesture is most commonly used to ward off the evil eye, insult someone, or deny a request, denying the request of this spirit to become your spiritual spouse, okay? It has been used at least since the Roman age in Southern Europe and parts of the Mediterranean region, including in Turkish culture. Some countries in Asia, Slavic cultures, and South Africa use it too, because it's a quote-unquote pagan symbol to protect against these spirit spouses. It is used playfully in northwestern Europe and North Africa, countries such as US, Canada, Australia, Libya, Tunisia, Czech Republic, to pretend to take the nose off a child, right? The letter T in the American manual alphabet is very similar to this gesture, T as in Theotokos. The hand gesture may have originated in the ancient Indian culture to depict the lingam and yoni. You know, the lingam being the shivling, the male parts, and the female parts together. That's what this symbol is used for. Among early Christians, it was known as the manus obscena, or obscene hand. In ancient Rome, the fig sign, or manufica, was made by the paterfamilias to ward off evil spirits of the dead as a part of the Lemuria ritual. It is contextually interesting and worth noting that the fig was a sacred plant for the Romans, and it was the Hebrews through the Ficus ruminalis, fig of Rumina, a wild fig whose life was believed to be critical to the luck of Rome. Same way it was with the Hebrews as a promised land food. All right. The ancient Greeks wore amulets of the gesture around the neck to protect from the evil eye, and also used the gesture in artwork. What they considered an overtly sexual gesture was expected to distract evil spirits from causing harm. If you get that sexual thing on the outside of the person, you can't get it from the inside of the person. Okay? The word sycophant comes from the ancient Greek word sycophantes, meaning one who shows or reveals figs, though there is no unequivocal explanation as to the reason why sycophants in ancient Greece were so called. One explanation is that the sycophant, by making false accusations, insulted the defendant in a manner analogous to making the fig sign. Exactly. These sycophants, these people who are obsessed with you, demand that you belong to them, and therefore you can have no happiness outside of them. This is what a sycophant does. They are obsessed with you because they believe that they own you. In Italy, this sign, known as the fica in mano, the fig hand, or far le fiche, to make the fig, was a common and very rude gesture in past centuries, similar to the finger, but has long since fallen out of use. Notably, a remnant of its usage is found in Dante's Divine Comedy, and it is commonly represented in medieval painting The Man of Sorrow. The same hand shape is now frequently used as a joke with children, but represents stealing the nose, and in this context bears no offensive or sexual meaning. Yeah, except to when you're taking a nose, you're unable to sniff out these demons that are trying to, it leaves you wide open through your nose for these things to come in. So nah, it's not sexual, but it's still terrible. Okay, so these are the different ways that it's used. Let's see what this man of sorrow is. Oh, talking about Jesus. Look at this. Man of sorrows in a biblical term, because the Theotokos is also known as the Queen of Sorrows. Okay, a biblical term is paramount among prefigurations of the Messiah identified by the Bible in the passages of Isaiah 53 and in the Hebrew Bible. It is also an iconic devotional image that shows Christ, usually naked above the waist, with the wounds of the Passion prominently displayed on his hands and the side. A feature of the other standard types of the image, often crowned with the crown of thorns and sometimes attended by angels. It developed in Europe from the 13th century and was especially popular among northern Europe. So they said that in some of these figures, he made this sign. Jesus made this sign. It put this sign on Jesus so that they couldn't use him for this sexual whatever crap that they're always doing. All right, now let's go backwards. All right, so I actually opened this up probably over a year ago. It was this article was literally in this web browser that I use. I had not ever referred back to it, but here it is. Okay. Italian folk magic amulets, the Mano Figa. The Mano Fico, also called Figa, is an Italian amulet of ancient origin. Examples have been found from the Roman era, and it was also used by the Etruscans. Mano means hand, and Figo or Figa means fig, the diplomatic slang connotation for a woman's genitals. An English slang equivalent might as well be P-word hand. Grab her by the P-word. Anyway, it represents a hand gesture in which, that is crazy. Let me keep going. It represents a hand gesture in which the thumb is thrust between the curled index and the middle fingers in obvious imitation of heterosexual intercourse. Again, this is done with the left hand, okay? This symbol, you could tell it is the left hand because if you try, well, this one is the right hand. No. This one is, it's usually, it looks like the left hand to me, okay? We had to do some more research into what hand. Okay, what made an apotropaic gesture or worn as an amulet? The Mano Fico is used for magical protection against the evil eye. In this, it resembles other hand gestures and hand images that ward off evil, including the hamster hand, the eye in hand, the mano cortuna, the horned hand, and the interlocked thumb gesture. A regionally popular amulet, it is primarily found in Italy and in America among descendants of Italian immigrants. It also shows up on a Peruvian package amulet and in South American charm vial, both reflecting the colonial European influences. That's craziness. Not true. The Mano Fico shown here is a modern pewter reproduction of a 19th century silver amulet, probably from the area around Naples, where such charms were extremely popular. Older Neapolitan, so this is why people wore charm bracelets. It was to protect from all these different things. The charms had meaning. They weren't random charms. They were to protect from all these different things. Older Neapolitan Mano Fico charms were also carved of blood coral. The evil eye is believed to harm nursing mothers and their babies, bearing fruit trees, milking animals, and the sperm of men, the forces of generation. The Neapolitan custom of making Mano Fico charms from silver, sacred to the moon goddess Luna, and blood coral, sacred to the sea goddess Venus, hint at the cultural survival of a link between the vulva gesture and the ancient Roman goddess worship. In addition, I do not think that it is too far a conceptual leap from the blood coral Figo hand of Italy to the red jasper buckle of Isis amulet of ancient Egypt, in which the blood of Isis, represented by her menstrual pad, was worn for magical protection, especially by women. It may be that these charms, like the ubiquitous horseshoe, have cultural roots reaching back to Neolithic area, originating in an invocation of the protective and fertile vulva of a female deity who guarded against loss or damage to the generative power. Okay? Let's look at another article. This is the last one. That's a bunch of, here we go. The clenched fist with a thrusting thumb is known as a mano infica, or simply mano figa, fig hand, or farli fish, or cunt gesture, pardon the profanity, for the resemblance to the female genitalia. The word figa itself is a very vulgar word to describe a vagina in Italy. Such a rude hand gesture was common in past centuries, similar to giving the finger or flipping the bird, but has fallen out of use. Dante's Divine Comedy, Inferno, Canto 25, mentions the mano infica. Supposedly, this charm is used to insult the devil and others casting evil spells. Insult them, reject them. This is the ultimate rejection symbol. I don't need you, especially as a woman, in my personal private parts because they don't belong to you. Right? Oh Lord, this is too much. Okay, so I am working on getting some of these made in the proper forms, so that I can carry them on my website. I ordered a test order to see if I like the ones that I receive. And so if you're interested, you can go on Etsy. You can find them. I was specifically looking for one that was coral and silver, because that is what was specifically mentioned in the reasoning for that. However, I did also order one that is this blue color with silver, because that represents our people. So I'm gonna, try them and see what I think. But if you're interested in one, you can go on Etsy, or you can contact me. I'm definitely gonna order some and have them on my website as a part of some kind of something I guess I'm now working on, which I didn't know until it just came out of my mouth. So in any case, we're going to protect ourselves from these spirit spouses as we cast them out, so that they cannot come back in with their crap. So I hope people understand this. Definitely go and do your own research, look into it. Lots of interesting videos, stuff about the hands, and the hand of protection being over our bodies, especially our reproductive areas, is really, really important. So shalom everyone, and we'll see you in the next video.